Hi there, this is Taz speaking. Welcome to this, call it episode or an update for you. This is basically CryptoTunity's, call it public service announcement. I like to keep you updated from time to time. Don't like to throw a lot down in our channel. Of course, there's a lot of noise out there, lots of folks talking and giving their 2 cents worth on where Bitcoin's going, etc., etc. Of course, nobody really knows. We just map out probabilities as professional traders, and that's essentially what I'd like to talk to you about right now. In front of you, of course, you've got a S&P 500 chart known as the SPY, and this is a 1-day time frame chart that we're looking at. And of course, by now you will note, very bearish sentiment out there. Fear indexes are at an all-time high, and of course, the news is massively bearish and down. Well, I can tell you from a technical perspective, looks to me like we're going to have a serious bounce in price now in the markets, and of course, this will impact the crypto markets because we are seeing very, very high correlation to the stock markets when it comes to the crypto markets. So in other words, a stock market bounce would mean a crypto bounce too. So anything I say now based on the stock markets, etc., equally applies to, of course, Bitcoin and the greater crypto market, or call it at least the top 100 cryptos. So this over here is a bearish channel, a regression channel it's called, and this is a bearish trend. As you can see, in other words, we're making lower highs, I beg your pardon, and lower lows to give us this market structure. Well, we've come to the bottom of the regression channel right now, and it's not unrealistic to expect a bounce now. I'd expect something like this for the S&P 500 to up to around about 415 or 420, around there, before we have a continued move. Now we've got a couple of time frames for that. From a cycle perspective, we're looking at September 2022, February of 2023, and again October of 2023. So the question is, will we continue this bear market down to 2023 October side, or see a bottom around September of 2022 or even February of 2023? We shall see, and the institutional market players will no doubt give us a clue. We watch them very closely, and we make it a mission not to be on the wrong side of big money. If they're selling, why would you buy? You will be annihilated. So we don't do that. Right now, the price levels that we're looking at in the markets are actually below major levels that have come in by institutions, which is bearish. And but on the other hand, I am expecting that we may just move above some of those levels now. Doesn't mean that things are bullish. We'd have to maintain above those levels and have new levels coming in and essentially going higher and higher. Don't believe that will be the picture. But right now, why are we saying that? Well, if we look at the 200 moving average over on a 1-day period chart, you can see that we are really oversold right now. Last time this happened, of course, was COVID-19 times. You can see we dipped below this moving average, but soon recovered the average. Now I would expect at least a test of the moving average, which is currently around about here at 428 on the SPY. So next couple of weeks, and of course today is the June the 16th, and of course the next couple of weeks I would expect to move higher in the markets, including crypto. Like to look at a couple of different charts, like for instance the Baltic Dry Index. And this is a fantastic indicator when you want to know what's going to happen in the stock market moving forward. It is a, call it, early indicator. Let's see what's happening. Well, the Baltic Dry Index is already moving up, and we know that the stock markets follow the Baltic Dry Index. It's usually an early warning indicator. When it starts moving down, the markets can still be moving up, but you know what's coming next. Well, Baltic Dry indicator has turned, and that is just giving me confidence to what I believe is going to happen the next number of weeks. We can see the US dollar yield coming down, okay, which of course is bullish. Although there is a little bit of an uptick here, but generally speaking, from the 14th of June, it has been ticking down. And let's take a look at the VIX. I would expect that, yep, is coming down as well. And dollar index is still moving up, so or testing this 103 area. So we've got a strong dollar, but we may just see this come down a little bit in the next couple of weeks as well, giving confidence to this picture. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, the king of all cryptos currently from a market cap perspective anyway, therefore liquidity in the market. Let me change this to a Holler Candles chart. Right, you can see this clearly, of course, still in a downtrend, just mirroring the stock markets because of the correlation that we currently face. Therefore, as I said earlier, we will be doing essentially what the stock markets are doing in crypto. And you can see again, we've hit the bottom of this bearish channel, and I will expect a bounce from here now to test this supply zone of around about 29,000-30,000 or so. And of course, we could break above that, test it, and fail before resuming down. Ultimately, I do expect that more bearish levels will be met by Bitcoin over the number of months ahead. This could be up to a year or so. Who knows exactly, but we've got some levels here. 17,579. 75 is the next major price level that I'm looking at for the move down. So in other words, a move up, test here, fail, then would bring us down to this area. So next couple of weeks, any shorts I would imagine are going to be crushed. There'll be a short squeeze, which will just add fuel to the move up to test the supply zone for Bitcoin. And that's what I expect. Now, that does not change the picture, the overall picture that we are in a bear market across the board in crypto markets and of course stock markets, but we will see price action moving up in the next few weeks, is my opinion, and what I will be positioning for. In other words, what I will do personally is be scaling out of my shorts at this point in time and making sure I'm not caught out in this move and potentially trading it, potentially waiting. Of course, my preferred method for high probability in a downward trending market is not to take the longs at the bottom of the regression channel, but to take shorts when we have finished a move up. Okay, so that's kind of what I like to do here for high probability. As you can see, in a downward move, the market will move, the supply will move in your favor. What will happen is if you take a long, this will be faded short, so you, in other words, would expect the price to move there. It could end earlier and catch you out as well. So just wanted to warn you and give you a bit of insight into the market. Of course, no doubt we will find a bottom, and what would it look like? Well, I would say that it will look something like this. Oh dear, chart is hanging. Hold on 1 second. Let's just do this. Right. So I'm expecting something like this. So a chart that looks very similar to this. Okay. There you go. Focus for you. So I'm expecting we're over here. I'm expecting that move up now, then a last point of supply, show of weakness, and eventually a seller's climax. And what I expect in that seller's climax is a high volume confirmation. We basically saw a high volume confirmation back in May of last year. Remember, 19th of May, when we saw at the same time a capitulation candle, but that came in with a lot of volume. Then basically we consolidated before moving up. Now, I do not believe that we have actually seen a seller's climax yet, simply because of high volume. We did see volume over here, in fact, on the 12th of May, but clearly we are not consolidating at this point, but still moving down. So I therefore believe seller's climax is still coming. And therefore the price action, I would suspect, will look something like this. Next move up, moving down, consolidating with a show of weakness and a last point of supply before the actual final Salus Climax. You'll see I've mapped out some key levels here for you. Next level, again, like I said earlier, is about that 17,000 level. Then we've got 16,235, 14,581, and as low as 13,312. And maybe even $12,500 Bitcoin. So these are the levels. Don't have to test all of them, of course, but as we keep failing to move higher, the probability of these levels being tested and hit become higher and higher. So have yourself a fantastic weekend. If you find yourself in the States for a holiday coming week, have a great holiday. Speak to you soon. Do look out for us on crypto Twitter. We are Cryptotunities, CryptoTunities on Twitter, and we'll keep you posted and tell you about all the things that we're busy doing at the moment. Have a fantastic day. Bye.